And then we can go over here, branding, go over here and start the theme.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, I got to wait till we're live. We're not live yet, I don't think. Are we live yet? I don't think we're live yet.
This
is how it is. This is how it is. This is how it is. This is how it is.
Today's show is brought to you by Preparation 8, the choice of millions of rats around the world.
This is how it is. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is. Today. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. Today on Pop Culture Minefield.
Giggity, giggity. So, yeah, here we are. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. It's hump day. Hump a lot day, as I like to say. Because if you're going to do it, that's the best. Do it a lot.
I want to hump a lot.
A hump a lot. That was, yeah, what is it? What was her first name?
Austin Powers.
Yeah,
Kirsten. Kirsten.
It was something humps a lot.
Oh, it's Ivana Humpalot.
Ivana hump a lot. That's what it is.
The name of the actress is Kirsten something.
Oh yeah, she's a cutie. Cutie patootie. By the way, to everyone's shock, deleted scenes is here.
He's here, but he's not.
It's become the running joke that he's going to announce each week that he's not going to be here.
I get suspicious when he didn't this week, so it's not that big of a shock to me.
What happened? What happened? Oh, he's here. So, and of course, my dear friend Mephisto is here, a great friend to this channel and to our panels and to me. He was telling us some funny stories that I won't tell you. It's nobody's business, but what he does is freaking awesome. What he does in real life. That's all I got to say.
It's pretty boring, and I don't mind sharing it.
I
but
find it fascinating.
It's not for like a movie channel. It's good for backstage.
Yeah,
but I don't mind telling people. I'm not ashamed of it or anything. It's like people ask me, why can't you tell me your real name? I will. You just can't pronounce it. You like, it's already fucked up where it's written. But yeah, if you want my real name, I can tell you.
Is it?
Go ahead.
Shocker! It ends with Cohen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now you have to tell it.
No, you have
I
to.
love the name Cohen.
My real name? No problem.
Yeah.
Shachar Cohen. Go look.
Cohen.
Shachal.
Shachar,
Oh,
which
Shachar
means
Cohen.
dawn.
Oh.
Cohen, which means priest.
Love it. That's a fucking
Man, I have
awesome name.
The funny bit is there's a guy at work who's like, he's not super religious, so he doesn't have the yarmulke on, but he's one of those superstitious kind of a guy. And he's like, oh, you're a
It's almost as
priest.
bad as religious.
And he's like, you're always above me. It's like, what? What do you mean above? Yeah, the priests are, and the Judaism are always above everybody else. It's like, you are aware that about a third of the country is Cohen, right? Are they all above you? We're all priests? It's like, yes, you're all high priests.
It's awesome, dude.
Some
Cohen.
people are way too superstitious.
Yeah.
I like that name, man. The guy who played Goose was, yes, I actually answered him too. I answered Tim that Steve has been best friends with Mel Gibson still to this day since I think 76 when they were in school together at NITA. Leaving Heroes. Well, we're going to give them back. Oh yeah, that's Speech in the Hall by Fifi. And by the way, I have always suspected that Fifi was an open gay man in that movie.
Oh,
'Cause
that
his
comes in
clothing
Mad Max too.
Just screams.
It's so obvious.
Well,
very good.
and I think that the toe cutter, he had something going on for Johnny.
Oh no, there's no question. I said to Anima, I said, when I first saw this, I knew that was his girlfriend. Johnny is his girlfriend. And there's a lot of little things in the film. Some of it, feel like it's potentially sexually violent because you know that that couple is assaulted, but a lot of people don't realize that the guy with his pants off
Yeah.
running away,
He
has
was
blood.
great.
His blood on his butt cheeks. And I thought that was edgy. That was edgy for 1979. Shot in 78, released in 79, but didn't hit America until 80. And that's when I saw it with my dad.
Like-
in the drive-in.
like
The
cocaine.
Americanized version, right?
Yeah, it keeps refining it, but it refined it the wrong way because they put American voices in the American dub, and I hated it. And then years later, I finally found out there was an Australian version. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I got to get that. And I worked for almost 2 years trying to find a copy. Finally got it. And I think
When
I
I
was in the army by the time I found it.
When I saw this on VHS, I had the Australian version, I guess. I never saw the American dub.
Well, because you were living over there. So, yeah, you probably weren't subjected to that crap.
Yeah, whatever. Because remember where so European and American versions were different. So NTSC was the American version, and PLA or PAL was the European version. So we got the European version over here, and normally you either got it with some sort of a subtitle or dub, or you just got the original version, or because if it doesn't come from America, it comes at its original version. Whatever Japanese movies came over here, Japanese version.
I was always told that in Israel that English is the second language there. So
yes,
a
technically
majority of
the
people
third,
speak.
but yes.
Now,
What's the
the
second
third.
then? What's the second?
Arabic.
yeah, you
Arabic
need,
is-
you need to.
Well,
The
Arabs are
reason
Semitic
why-
too.
Yes, but the reason why it's technically the second is because the 21% are Arab, like Arabs.
Yeah, because
Which are
they work
so-
there.
are-
Yeah.
21%, which is 20% Muslim and 1.5% Christian. It kind of changes all the time, but relatively speaking, yes.
Now, I like to address this, seeing being the fact that I was in Latin America. Well, I still are. I mean, in Venezuela, when I got my DVD for Mad Max, yeah, it was like Tim is saying here. My DVD doesn't have the dubbing.
Yeah.
And it's weird because everything that we get on the South comes normally from the States.
It really depends on what year you got it, probably.
Hmm.
Well, I can only speak for the
Yeah,
countries
I
played
wouldn't
in,
know
like,
if
we have the
it was
original here.
a first print or a subsequent print.
Mm. You got it on DVD or VHS?
DVD.
Then
Yeah,
I
'cause-
think by that time they reverted back to the Australian version for
Yeah,
everybody.
the first DVD I remember seeing was in the 90s. And I think that's when I got it, because I was still in the Army when I got my first DVD of this movie. But I was so shocked to find out that that wasn't Mel Gibson's voice back in the 80s. I'm like, wait, he sounds nothing like the version I saw.
It was weird to
But,
me to hear him speak with his Australian accent in this. I never heard
Have you
that. I've never
noticed-
seen him so young, too.
Have you noticed? Ostains is back.
Oh,
John Ostains, what's up, buddy? Where the
Where
fuck
have
have
you
you
been?
been?
good to have you back.
By the
Happy
way,
Thanksgiving to you, my friend.
okay, let me a second. Yes, let me acknowledge our good friend Tim.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
So, well, it's so weird to see you. So, one thing I want to get into in this film is because I've talked about this ad nauseum with people, and Alfred Hitchcock kind of pretty much said it himself that there's nothing new under the sun. There hasn't been an original story since the writing of the Bibles, and it's all the stories have been told. What's original is in how you tell it. And so we're going to get into a little bit of Mad Max, because Mad Max is an amalgamation of a lot of different movies. And when you start looking at how it got put together, you kind of go, is there anything really original about it? Yes, there is. Because Byron Kennedy is the one who kind of came up with the original idea of an interceptor cop story, a highway cop, and that it's a chase movie. That was his original idea. I want to make this. And we didn't have a lot of those at that point. And but the two of them, before they met, had seen numerous different films, and all of these films had impacts on them. You've got here, hold on. First of all, I want to show this poster. This is the Mad Max poster that was at the drive-in theater when I went to see it. And I got a print copy of that from, I think, Starlog magazine, and put it up on my wall. I fucking loved this poster. It just looked so awesome to me. The thing that gets your attention is not the flames, but there's a hand sticking up over on the right. It was like so Conan to me. It was meant to kind of look like something that Frazetta had done, but it's not as good as Frazetta. But I still love the imagery of that.
It's like Frazetta drawing Dread.
But I'm going to show you the movies that helped give us Mad Max, the very first film, Mad Max. Number one is a little film called Stone. It is almost the same movie in so many ways. You have a cop and a biker gang, and a lot of chase scenes and a funeral. And in fact, one of the bad guys in this, played the character of Toad, is the same character who plays Toe Cutter. He was in
What
this
year
movie
is-
first. This is 76, I think. And another film that had a huge impact on the Mad Max franchise, not so much with the first film, but with the second film, is the movie Shane. This also had a huge impact on both films, Yojimbo. This is absolutely almost a shot-for-shot earlier version of The Road Warrior. It's called The Ultimate Warrior with Yul Brynner and Max von Sydow. This had a huge impact on Mad Max. In fact, the character of Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry are echoes of what's his name at the beginning chase scene. Not Toe Cutter. What's his name?
The Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. Knight Rider is his character, and she is the girl character in the car. And it ends almost identically. And kind of an interesting little tidbit, if anybody catch it, that is a rocket that's used to help planes take off quickly. That was put in the back of that fucking car. So you see fire shooting out of the back of Knight Rider's car as he's crashing. That is a real rocket. They did that to speed it up. And that's some crazy shit right there. But those are the movies that, and then there's another film I don't have the poster here, I forgot to grab, is Lawrence of Arabia. And there are images from Lawrence of Arabia in every Mad Max movie. Straight from Lawrence of Arabia. Shots that were clearly intended to be reminiscent of a shot from Lawrence of Arabia. And in this film, the shot is the scene where Johnny takes the lighter and he's going to like light the hair on fire on his arm. And then right when he gets it up to it, he goes, oh, and it leads up being funny. But that is an homage to the scene where Lawrence has the match and shows people the trick of putting it out with your fingertips. That's what that was. A little nod to that little moment in the film. And that's another one that was done later in Alien with Ridley Scott with that stupid movie Prometheus, was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that really bad.
I try to forget that film ever exists.
There's some good stuff within it, don't get me wrong, but it's a terrible movie. When people think of Max movies, they usually think of the rebellious character in a dystopian future. And what's really weird is you don't quite get the dystopian of this. But you do understand that the police in this film are the last line of defense between madness, chaos, and the people trying to have their lives still.
Because when people think about Mad Max, they think about The Road Warrior, which is Mad Max 2.
The second
and
one. That's
subsequent sequel. And it's sort of like in Mad Max, you still have a rule of law, but it's slowly disintegrating.
It's eroding.
Yeah.
As the cops quit is really what's happening. Like they're all going to go. And the other thing that inspired, because a lot of people don't know this, that George Miller and Byron Kennedy were medical students and they were doctors. Yeah, medical doctors.
Yep.
And the way that they funded this movie was they took their little blue van. It's the exact same van that you see in the movie that gets torn apart, but it's not the same one, but it's a similar model. They gutted it for the movie. But in real life, they had one of those, and they would go out and they would wait for radio calls for emergencies, and they would go out there in the outback and help as medical first responders. Early version of paramedics, because they didn't have that in Australia at the time. I thought that was really cool. And they made money off of that. And they also gleaned information of what terrible accidents. And a lot of those accidents that they witnessed, as well as George Miller personally, had lost friends and family to terrible crashes there in Australia. And that ended up in the movie. So I sent you something to show the panel. I've got everything closed right now, so I don't have any lag.
After that, you can show a poster that I put up.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go.
That's okay. Do it.
Go ahead.
Do it. You're the producer.
Right. So
yeah, I never liked that poster, but
that is the cover of the VHS that I got. So I remember this for the very first time.
Yeah, I remember this from the 80s.
So later in life, and this is a buddy of mine that I used to go to movies with, but when we were both in the Army, I saw this again, and he pointed out something about the helmet. It says MFP, and it's probably Melbourne Force Police. But he said it's the motherfucking police.
No,
it means Made Force Patrol.
Yes,
but it's Force
Force
Patrol. Yeah.
But motherfucking police.
I like
that works too.
I liked his version.
Yeah, I'll do too.
Wait, let me. Okay, here's what Tim sent us.
Oh,
That's a cutie.
Hey, why don't you pick up your damn underwear you left back there? I'm teasing. I can't see the underwear.
Could be worse.
But that's funny when people send in photos, you know, they post them. They don't think about what's in the background. Like I remember one a long time ago where some girl took a selfie in the bathroom and you can see a turd in the toilet.
Again,
So-
could be worse. Have been worse.
Kennedy Miller stole all these ideas from different films and created this. In fact, hold on right here. Got to stop here. That logo right there, this one, that's stolen. There it is. Do you know what it's stolen from?
No.
George went to France and tried to buy the rights to the name Metal Hurlant or Heavy Metal. To
Oh,
use
yes.
for the film. They told him, no. Are you insane? No, you can't use it. And so that logo is based on that logo. They don't even pretend to hide that it's not. And there it is again. So there was so much thievery going on here, but it was creative thievery. And Mel Gibson said it best. We were watching that making of video, Anima and I were, and commented that it's not so much like he's a creative genius. He's a mathematician. And he's really good at putting things together. Hey,
Okay.
Bush.
Give me a second.
I have the original. I have the original if you want it, Martin.
Of the Bush commercial?
No, the heavy metal logo.
Oh.
By the way, this is really strange to me. Oh, look at that. I love that logo too. Man, that was my porn when I was a kid. I wanted to read heavy metal because I knew I could see jugs in it and occasionally other things. But Space Flaggle. Hey, Flaggle.
That's why I love British comedies. You never know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
Jumblies.
Benny Hill did not ever have nudity.
No nudity, but a lot of tits.
Yeah, but other shows had, like Monty Python had like random
nudeness.
Random nudeness in.
Well, I told you when I was in England in '77 for the first time, and I'm watching the BBC, and I remember it was the night that Elvis Presley, it was announced he had died, and I was watching a movie with Francois Truffaut, and he yells at this guy when they have a fender bender. He says, "Why don't you watch where you're going, motherfucker?" And he says, I ask you to not speak that way while my mother is in the car. And he goes, "Well, if you'd stop fucking her." And I'm watching this go. It's in French, but I'm reading the subtitles. And I'm like looking for my dad or some adult to stop me from watching this. I'm like, is nobody going to stop me from watching? Is this like HBO or something? I couldn't understand what I was watching. I was so confounded by the BBC.
You should have said, "Don't you know I can read?"
Yeah. I don't think my dad was paying any attention. I think he was so busy talking. His name was Dennis, and he worked for MI6, and he was just the nicest guy. His wife, his daughter, she was my first. I lost my virginity to her, but my God, what a great life. I got the perfect picture of my dog for Gary. Thank you, Bush. I hope you didn't cook him, for God's sakes. Jesus, you're always sending me food porn. That would be nightmarish.
How dare
Mixing, what are you doing? Mixing your mediums, Bush? So Deleted is out and about right now, by the way. That's why he's so quiet, but he will pop in here in a little bit. So this whole Knight Rider scene was inspired, like I said, by Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, and has the same conclusion. as the end of the film. That right there. Okay, I want to pause it right here. The Interceptors, when I was a kid, that was the shit. This was one of the coolest cars I'd ever seen. The only thing I thought was cooler later was the Spinner from Blade Runner. And here it is. This is Mel in one. That is the Ford Falcon. They use both 73 and 74 Ford Falcon XB-GTs. These were the regular Interceptors, but this was the one that was souped up for him. It's still the same car. It just looks more badass.
And it's the coupe.
It's the coupe. That's right. Oh, wait, no. That's a fastback. When it's straight back like that from the top back, that's a fastback.
Oh, I was talking about the number of doors.
Oh, I got you. Okay. The coupe is, this one is more like a coupe because it's got the window coming down. This one is a fastback, and that's a fastback. And it's got the 2 doors. This is the 4-door.
Beautiful.
And this one specifically is the XB right here. This is the GT, and this is the GT. And it's a fucking beast. And go ahead, try to find a model kit of that. Good fucking luck.
Now, Eric Bana, he has one of those, and he called it the Beast, and that is his racing car, his favorite racing car, because you know Eric Bana is a racer, and
he's also a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. Now that said,
I am one of those.
Do you know the name of this tree, Meth? It's found in Africa, mostly the Congo, and in Australia. And I forget the name of the tree.
I know which one you mean. Baboa. Something. It begins with a B.
That. I think
it begins with a B. I know exactly what you mean, but the name escapes me. But yeah,
Baobab.
See,
Baobab. That's it. Thank you. Oh, I love the end of this because he ends up getting his larynx destroyed in his accident. He ends up talking with one of those vibrating things. And the psychology is the thing that drove George Miller. He wanted to show the psychological effects of the shit that happens in this film on individuals. And that's what destroyed the MFP and why eventually the Wasteland won. And chaos and disorder took the day. And it's kind of a cool concept. But what's hard for a lot of people to see is how Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, is a direct sequel to Mad Max. And if you understand what he's trying to say is happening, the psychological impacts, you understand what led to The Road Warrior. And he's broken. He's forever because of what he does in this film. And I think one critic said it best, and they were talking about it in the making of video that we watched, that he enacts his revenge by the end of this film, but it's a hollow revenge. And it is the acts that he does in Road Warrior and then in Thunderdome that allows him to finally work towards his redemption that, according to Miller, is in the 4th film, Fury Road, because he can walk away now knowing that he's done the right thing. Even though I felt like by Road Warrior, he'd already done the right thing.
Yeah.
It's just and another film, by the way, that they stole directly from is Harlan Ellison's A Boy and His Dog. And Miller even apologized to him for stealing from him.
It's more pronounced in the second movie, so
that's the one I'm talking about. Is A Boy and His Dog. And he did apologize for Road Warrior to Harlan Ellison. And Harlan says, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it because I really like that movie. So it's a gimme. He never charged him, whereas he kicked the shit out of James Cameron.
Okay. Speaking of A Boy and His Dog, this is for Bush and his dog.
Oh, Dougie. Oh, that's a good boy. Yes.
Good girl.
I don't know. I'm not looking at their penis or vagina.
You should remember.
I let you do that.
My goodness.
I'm sorry, I was going to make a really terrible joke about sexing animals. Now, this is a great setup, and this is an inspiration from another classic film by a Jewish filmmaker in communist Russia. It was one of the first major communist propaganda films. It was called The Battleship Potemkin, with the baby stroller and the stairs. And this one, it uses cars instead. You get an echo of the same scene later with another girl and her really weird looking toddler. Here it is right here. The toddler just walks out in the middle of traffic. There we go.
Shaming toddlers, are we now?
I mean, that kid looks like he's half a brick short of a building.
Oh my God.
He's also passing out walking.
Well, this is a dystopian future.
It is a dystopian future. Oh my God. Man, they fucked that car up. That is, and the stuntmen did a great job on this film. In fact, the lead stuntman that worked on this film is the guy that did all the major stunts all the way up until Fury Road. I don't know if he worked on Furiosa. I do know he worked on Fury Road. Was
that the same guy who flew over? There's that famous one where they got the car got stuck and he literally cartwheeled out.
No, I think that guy died in that.
No,
scene.
he didn't die. No.
Hey, there's Waldo.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, there.
It's either that or it's what's his name that would smash watermelons. That comedian.
See, now I forgot his name. He died recently.
Yeah.
Gallagher.
Gallagher, yeah. I love that one shot when he goes through that camper. Now, this one right here is Goose. That's such a funny moment. He says, "Man, what's going on, man?" He goes, "I don't know. It just got here." And he wrecked. He's laughing. And there's something that is pointed out about this film, that there's almost a cartoon quality to this film all the way up until Mel's wife and son being killed and Goose being burned. And then all of a sudden it turns into a whole different movie.
Max Damon is in the house.
Oh, Max Damon, dude, I'm going to bring up Sergei Einstein at some point, because that film, and I tell people all the time, you make a good fucking movie, I don't care what your politics are, I'll watch it and I will like it for what it's worth. And that is a good example, because that is pure communist propaganda, but I still love that movie.
So, Gary, where's your stance on Goose is actually later on the big boss in Mad Max 2? Because
that has always been interesting to me, but I wish they had done something to where that is revealed in there, if that was ever even thought of, because that's considered a fan theory, but it would make total fucking sense, because he's burned. He's got burns all over him.
The thing is, we I kind of went deep into it, and I found an interview where George Miller actually says he kind of intended it to be, but
there's no payoff.
Sort of kind of had they kind of have a problem where he's just the bad guy, and the face reveal wouldn't contribute to anything emotionally, and he would still get smacked and disintegrated into pieces.
I think the layer that it would have added to it is the regret that Max Rakatowski would have towards having to do that, knowing who it is. I think that would have been an interesting bit of drama within it.
Yeah, it would have mattered because in the movie he rams the truck into his car, but he wasn't trying to kill the guy. He was trying to kill the what's his face, with the mohawk.
Yeah,
Rather than
What?
actually kill the guy in the car.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm still potentially going to be working with him on my screenplay, The Darker. I'm trying to remember. His name escapes me right now. I don't know why. Normally I could say his name just off the
I'll
top
tell
of my
you in
head.
a second.
Who?
Oh my god. The Mohawk guy.
I'll tell you in a
Vernon Wells.
second.
Vernon Wells.
Vernon Wells, thank you. Vernon, really nice guy. He's great in Commando. There's another movie I'd like to remake and make it better.
Oh, leave it be, Bennett.
Put off some steam, Bennett. Now, this is where he gets it that his throat damaged in the accident. And from this point forward, he uses one of those little, hey, how are you doing? Voice box things. It's just kind of nifty. So you got these really exaggerated cartoonish characters within the film. And like I said, the film has this almost cartoon quality about it, all the way up until Mel's family gets murdered and Goose gets burned. There's Goose. Fuck, I love that guy. He's such a good actor. And in real life, like I said, they met in NITA school and they graduated together and they've been friends since 76. Best friends. Still are. And these are the two characters I said that are based off of Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. And there's this great, I love these cuts to the gears shifting and all this shit. Also, the hero is like in Westerns. You don't often see the hero's face until after everything's done, and then they do the reveal. And they do the same thing with Mad Max. And he's not Mad Max until the end of the movie. He's just Max Rakatowski, whose name is based on a real pathologist that George Miller and Byron Kennedy knew of in Europe. And they gave him his last name. He was Bohemian. He's from Bohemia.
He's not yet Mad Max. He's Upset Max at this point.
Yeah. The mad in this isn't referring to anger. It's Mad Max is insane.
Craziness.
He has lost his mind by the end of the film. Now, I explain to people a lot of times you'll see something here. I'm going to cut back to this just for a split second. When you see the windshield, and you can see through the windshield, but you can see there's this right there. You can see some lines that are going on there. What it is you use specific polarized lenses that have lines that go in a parallel direction with it or against it. And by going against it, you get lines on the windshield that are barely noticeable, but allow you to see through glare. And it's a trick that people learned when you polarize both the windshield and the shooting lens. So that's why they're able to shoot through lenses like that, or windshields like that.
Especially on the budget.
Yeah, this movie was shot on money that these guys had made as doctors.
Yeah. Was that 134,000? I think.
Yeah, it was like every penny went into the production of this film. That nothing was wasted. They had trouble during the shoot, a lot of problems. People not getting paid. It's just all kinds of shit going on. I never heard that Goose might have become Lord Humongous, but no, I've heard of that before, John.
Yeah, but he couldn't.
Yeah, like I said, Miller kind of confirmed it way later on. So I don't know
I
if
didn't even know
maybe
that. I didn't know he confirmed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have two objections about that. Miller can say whatever he wants, but Goose was a crisp. And Lord Humongous, he only has burn on his face. His body is untouched.
Well, he could have been like grafted and all that shit.
Right.
Burned all over. So
And
anyway,
the second one,
Oh.
excuse me,
Okay.
Fifi on the on that stairwell speech, he says that Goose in fact died of his injuries.
I don't
Was it
remember him saying that.
was it
Yes.
off if Goose died or burned to death off screen? It's movies, man. If you die off screen, you can always come back.
You never see more than his hand when it drops out from under the cover that's over him. All you see is Mel Gibson's reaction to seeing him.
And I think that's a.
And you
it was-
hear,
it
you
was-
hear that he's on a ventilator, so it's pretty bad.
You know that it's a budgetary reason they didn't show it, but I think that
Yeah.
it's better they didn't show it and instead show Mel's reaction.
It was
seeing
both
him.
being on a budget and the director being a guy of big emotions, and that's his way of showing them. Show reactions to shit that happens and not the actual shit.
Right.
Yeah.
D-Bud has the
Bad.
Monty Python response with "Go better."
I like it. I mean,
Uh,
he
ma-
refers to the friend after seeing him, that thing. So it must be pretty bad.
Look, he only said he considered it, but they let it go and made like humongous, sort of this mythical bad guy. And again, in the script or in the original script, they decided to kill him regardless. So maybe it wasn't like that full emotional impact that George Miller wanted. We don't know.
I think it's the right
Plus-
direction to have gone.
Yeah, it really didn't matter if you absolutely knew it was Goose or not.
Now, I'm going to point out here, again, psychology being a major part of this film, by Max doing what he just did. He played chicken with Knight Rider, and Knight Rider flinched. So now he's lost his mojo, and he's crying in the car, and she's like, "Hey, baby," trying to make him feel better, but that's it. This is the end, and he dies here. And it's twice in the film you get close-up of eyes right as they're crashing. And they do Knight Rider's eyes, and then later they do Toe Cutter. And Toe Cutter is more obvious with the eyeballs being pushed through the lenses. I mean, through the eyelids.
Knight Rider annoyed the shit out of me, screaming all the time. I can't bear
Well,
it.
his character is meant to be cartoonish and
I
insane.
know, but that was too much for me.
My favorite moment in the film is when old lady has the shotgun, double barrel, like 44-inch fucking barrel. That fucking gun looks like twice her size. She's holding it on him, and he turns and goes, he does the gasp like out of an old movie. His eyes get huge. I thought it was hilarious. I love the character, Toe Cutter, in this. And he returned later to play the main villain in Fury Road. Same actor.
Immortan Joe.
Yeah. Different character, but still good as a villain. Sadly, we lost him. He died in between movies. A lot of people don't know that the actor who played Fifi in this is still alive, man. Dude's like 80 years old.
Wow.
Roger Ward, he's 80 now. Hugh Keays-Byrne is the actor I was talking about that played Toe Cutter, and he died a couple of years ago. The woman that plays his wife in this, Joanne Samuel, gorgeous lady. And they got good chemistry in the film.
Yeah, but they are shitty parents.
We had been joined by Tom Baker and the Comic Relief Crusader.
Mike, get your ass on the panel. Come on.
Or to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
No,
Ass
no,
to
no.
Mars.
We need him to be here because he's funny as fuck.
Vicky and Dawn wish us a happy Thanksgiving, guys. He just messaged me, and so
That's tomorrow,
Okay.
right?
Remember, non-American guy here. When is Thanksgiving?
I think that's tomorrow. And Gary's the only one celebrating it here. Oh no, Stephen too. He just came back.
oh god, oh Steven's back. Oh good. I was afraid Mike joined us. I'm so sick of the Comic Relief Crusader. Him and his fucking mouth. I'm teasing Mike. Get on here if you want to join us.
Sorry to hear that, Mike.
Oh man, sorry to hear that, Mike.
Oh, that means he's stuck in the bathroom, I think.
Just because it happens to you doesn't mean it
Look, it
happens to
happens. People forget toilet paper and they get stuck until somebody comes home. Save them.
There's a towel or the shower curtain.
No, Martin, no.
Bad, Martin, bad.
Hey, Zax.
Happy Thanksgiving, Zax. Happy
Let
Thanksgiving
me
to Mike,
find it.
too.
Oh.
Even though I think they already had their Thanksgiving, didn't they? Back in October, isn't it? When does Canada have their Thanksgiving? I forget. It's in October, right? Or is it August?
I think the Canadians are earlier.
Okay, and for
Croatia
Zax,
is in August.
we have this one.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
I love that one.
Of course, Mike's response to me for the toilet joke, blah blah blah, pop culture minefield.
Yeah, he's not going to that level.
Oh my
Mike
God!
is civilized.
Tim says Mike is Canadian, so who cares?
Oh my God!
Oh man. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there it is. That's the interceptor he's working on.
That's the MFP version of you have a bigger office now.
I saw a video the other day of a guy who installed 18 different things on his wall, so there's always toilet paper.
That's a bit paranoid.
I think it was more as a joke. Now this guy right here plays Grease Monkey. This is the guy who would come back later, and he was a writer and script supervisor for Furiosa, the guy in the middle there.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I liked it, but it's not. Look, man, Mad Max and Road Warrior are the only two great Mad Max films. There's Fifi. I'm telling you, man, that guy is out and proud.
Oh yeah.
And nobody's going to say anything about it.
Not a goddamn thing. That guy can fucking eat your throat out. Fucking Fifi. What a name, Fifi. And I got to tell you, to be honest with you, I love the guy's voice, but I always pictured that voice being more like, Max, how you doing, mate? That's the way he should have talked. Just gravelly, like smoking way too many cigars. Always taking care of his plants, too.
Man, that scarf. He's always wearing the scarf. Even if he's
scarf.
not wearing a shirt, he has his scarf.
He's naked with jewelry on and a fucking scarf. I'm just telling you, nobody does that unless they're
And that's the point where the
gay.
dumbest person should have realized that he's gay.
And this is actually one that was inspired by what he and Byron did in real life as doctors. This accident scene. Yeah, they had no budget, dude. This is one of those no budget films. It's like Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead. In fact, it's been compared to this film because they came up with all these little ideas, had no money, and went and made it, and did the best they could. And it took a year because the film was actually shot in 77, and the film was edited over 78 the entire year. He took a year.
He didn't have an
editing
editor. He had to do it himself.
Yeah, no money.
Pay for an editor.
And
also,
the more
I think it's
the more he
that
worked
did
on
guerrilla shooting, right?
Yeah,
When he
guerrilla.
just would go
Yeah,
out
they
on
were
the road to do
avoiding
it.
constantly avoiding being caught because
Yeah.
they would speed, shoot a scene, and they're like, okay, let's get out of here. So they didn't get busted. But more importantly, was going back to the edits. What he discovered in editing the film is how much he didn't get on camera, and it frustrated him. And he had so much trouble editing the film because of that. But this is the scene I actually like. This is a reminiscent scene for anybody who's ever seen Rebel Without a Cause, the biker films in the U.S., and the film that inspired this, as is considered by many fans to be the prequel to this film, Stone, which had a very similar cop character and similar biker gang, and this motherfucker's in it, as were some of the other actors.
Look what Max has to say here.
When this came out, I knew something was not right, but unable to put my finger on it. I didn't get The Village People either. There you go.
That was on the one of those 10 years later situations.
And the lead singer from the heavy metal band, that hard rock band that wore all leather and the motorcycle cap. What's his name?
What? Judas Priest?
Rob
Yeah,
Halford.
Judas Priest. Gay as the day is long.
Rob Halford.
The lead singer, yeah. Gay as the day is long. And Freddie Mercury too, man. I didn't care. I fucking love the music.
Everybody did, and then nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cared, you know. Love the Village People too. You know, when I became an adult, you know, you couldn't get me to fucking do the YMCA dance. I'm like, oh no, fuck no. Not doing it. And again, the answer is, yeah, I'm a drummer and drummers don't dance. No, I'm not doing that. Now, this guy, I always thought was German because he looks so German. The guy in the middle there, he's fucking Aussie all the way. And he's still alive. He just had open heart surgery a few years ago.
Reminds me of Liev Schreiber.
He does have eyes like Liev Schreiber. Yeah, you're right. I love this scene. This is a lot like the movie is a Western in so many ways. And this really rings of 310 to Yuma.
Well, it is kind of a Western because you've got the bikes and the cars as a substitute
Horses, wagons,
for
exactly.
horses and wagons and all that. Plus, you had the sheriff or deputy kind of. Not really, because it seems like they are a force, the police force, but they aren't a force. So everybody works for themselves and everybody's got their own zone to cover.
Yeah, because it's becoming that apocalyptic world that we were talking about. Not yet, but it's
and you mentioned it kind of the threads are kind of starting to fall apart. Yeah.
And Anima doesn't like this guy. I fucking love this guy as Toe Cutter. He's great in this. Always grabbing people. And I immediately knew, even as a kid watching this, that Johnny was his girlfriend. I was like, I got that.
Like him? Where did you get that from?
I don't like him.
He looks crazy as shit.
Is the good I don't like the character because the character is despicable.
So over the top. I didn't like him. That was what you said.
A lot of this movie is over the top.
Yeah, it's very cartoonish. And but I don't know, man. For what it was, and by the way, that is a really small coffin, so apparently there wasn't very much of this guy left.
That's what they say. This is what's left of him.
Hey, Connie Clear is in the house.
Connie's here. We've got a great crowd here today. Look at you guys. Let me go through here. Who is all here right now? Of course, our buddy Tim is here. Slasher Fred. Let's see. Penny is here. Curtis Selby. Boosh McFadden. Space Fwaggle. Tom Baker. John Ostains. Max Demon. Although I used to thought it was spelled Damon before, with an A in it, so it's pronounced Damon. Anyway, the Comic Relief Crusader, my buddy Mike. Connie Cleary, of course, and of course, Zax. Zax's nickname is going to become the Canadian Undertaker. That's my new nickname for you, Zax. Oh, the way he runs at this scene, and those kids are like, we got to get out of here. And everything would have been fine. They would have got away if they hadn't
quietly
fucking hit him on the way out.
Yeah. If they had gone out quietly, nothing would have happened to them.
By the way, that looks like Harry Potter's dad here.
Harry Potter doesn't have a dad.
He looks like the kid that played Harry Potter when he's making that grimace here. Right there.
He does.
What, Daniel Radcliffe without the glasses?
Without the
Look
glasses,
at
that looks like Daniel
the
Radcliffe.
grin.
And his pesky personality.
That's a grimace, honey. That's not a grin. He's grimacing.
Mm.
You read too much into these this characters. Gary likes going into the back door.
Maybe trusted the
Oh.
fart.
Oh, we have a brief.
We have to do it. Here you go.
Check around and see if there's a back door.
There you go. I want to find more Don Rickles backdoor comments. Again, this always reminds me of Rebel Without a Cause when they park right outside the town's shops. Oh, no, we got away. We got, honey, these think motorcycles right behind us, and they're coming up really quick. Oh, man, I feel bad for that guy. And you're gonna feel even worse for him later, because not only did she get the she got raped, he does too, and you don't know that except for the fact that he is pantless when he's running away from the cops, and you can see blood on him.
With her, it's pretty obvious the position she's in and the way she's acting.
So they do a really good job of making this biker gang just villainous as hell. And Don sends us all a happy laughy face for Thanksgiving too.
You see, this is why you should be able to defend yourself.
Well, those two against the whole gang, I don't know.
If you had some hardware.
Well, it's Australia with its strict gun laws.
Shotguns are the most common thing allowed. It's still even in the UK. If you own a farm, you're allowed to have a shotgun.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous having gun laws when, the one thing you always have to fear is your own government. You should always fear your own government, and they should be afraid of you.
Here's the best part. In Australia, if it's a shotgun, you must storage the gun unloaded in one place, and the ammunition should be stored away
in a separate place.
Why?
I love
I
you.
said so,
That's
that's
sad. That is sad. So 70s bike.
See, that is the coupe. It's got the flatter backside and the 4-door. And again, I want to point out these two were best friends, and they got to make a surf film together first, and then they made this film together. A lot of people don't know that Mel Gibson was born in the United States, but it still took him a while to get rid of his accent. In fact, I don't notice it in the first Lethal Weapon, but when he's in the grocery store scene flirting with the South African girl in the grocery store, you can hear it. You can hear his accent.
The bike kind of reminds
the
bike kind of reminds me of like an Easy Rider, low rider type vehicle, right?
Even though oddly
the more of a Henry Fonda design.
But not Henry Fonda, Peter Fonda. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Peter Fonda. Sorry.
Yeah. But these are all Kawasaki's used in this film. By the way, this is also an echoed scene from the film Stone that had some of the same actors in it. That is considered by fans of this film to be a prequel to Mad Max.
In fact, if you want to learn not only a little bit more about Stone, but also about Australian film at the time, I'd like to recommend a movie real quick called Not Quite Hollywood. That's a documentary about Australian film at that point in time.
Yeah, it has a nickname. Do you know what the nickname is?
Oh, my.
Steven?
Oh, I should know.
The nickname is. It's called
Exploitation. Yeah.
There you go. Exploitation.
All about that here.
Started in technically it started in the late 60s, but it didn't become prevalent until the 70s. A lot of independent filmmaking. Picnic at Red Rock is one of those with Peter Weir. It's part of the Ozploitation films. Now I'm going to point out this guy. That's Johnny right there. Once Anima saw it, you can't unsee it. Are you guys ready?
Oh my, okay.
Adamant.
I know. Yeah.
Johnny is adamant. I swear to God.
I first saw this
Just
movie.
like
I thought it was
Alright.
him.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did. But he looks
I
just
did-
like so wild. What's that? Jeff?
I didn't know who Adam Ant was until I was 26 years old.
I had no idea until yesterday when we watched
What was the first
movie.
song? What was the first
I
song
don't
you heard?
know. I've never seen
Did
an
he-
Adam Ant song ever.
Goody Two Shoes was not the first, but it was my favorite. I love that song. I'm serious. My ass gets bounced when I hear, because they got horns and everything. It's great. Toe Cutter with his friend's little tiny child casket. He's holding it like a teddy bear. It's so creepy.
Tom, I have to disagree. I think the character that Vernon Wells played, Wes.
He's got a bitch.
Well,
He's got his
yeah,
little girlfriend. Dude,
Wes.
dude, yeah. Absolutely.
So put Hubungus in number 2 place.
I love the movie The Quiet Earth. Also, what was that other one that was done? It's done in the underground. The what do you call it? The water flow systems. It's not sewers. It's for floods and stuff. Oh my God, what is it called? Tide planes. Oh my God, I can't remember this movie. I've got to go look it up.
Yeah, I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Who was in it?
Oh, the guy from another film I just forgot the name of.
Okay, well,
He's old, can you tell?
What's the Japanese series we just watched? That was a series in the 80s.
I don't know if Bush is joking, but
I'm talking to Anima.
With fire.
No,
What was the question?
I asked, what was that Japanese series we just watched? Shogun.
Shogun.
Okay. All I got to do is get the star of that real quick from the 80s. That is Richard Chamberlain.
The Last Wave. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Last Wave was part of the Ozploitation series. And that one had to do with Aboriginal, what do they call it? Apocalyptic visions and imagery. Goose is going at him, man. He wants that information from him. I love this shit. Goose is a great character in this film because Mel isn't really even the main character at this point.
Yeah.
Goose is more of a major character than Mel is. Max.
Who isn't Mad Max until like 15 minutes before the movie ends?
Yeah. It isn't until they kill his family. He was getting there with Goose, but boy, he quit. He knew he had to go. I gotta go. And this movie has that classic gunslinger, hangs up his guns moment. And then he's got to get the guns back out. They even show a fucking crate he's gonna go into, get his gear.
All right. Wait, guys. I have to go.
No problem, buddy.
I literally falling asleep.
Oh man, go to bed, man. I'll see you later.
That's Steve.
I told you last week it's hard on a Wednesday, but you got deleted scenes here, so you're good.
We're used to that, Mephisto. Don't worry. I'm the same. Towards the end of the show, it's midnight for me, and I'm falling apart. So
but you don't have to get up at you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to go to work, do you?
No, I don't. But my job is way more physical than yours. I'm lifting 20-kilo printers.
Someday I'll elaborate what exactly I do, and you realize I do more physical work than you think.
Yeah, but she's
But never
tiny,
mind.
so her work is double.
Just remember, she's a woman, and whatever she says, just go, just
Yes,
throw it right
but
in.
she's not my woman, so bye.
Oh no, we're scary. Asshole.
We're having trouble with
All right.
streaming to X right now. For some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
don't worry-
that's
don't worry
on my
about it.
end, I think.
All right,
All
take it easy, Meth. I'll see you later,
Yeah,
buddy.
everybody.
No,
Good
it's
night.
not
Rest.
yours. It's not yours, Steven. It's our Twitter. Yours is fine.
I'm happy to hear that they're working on a ceasefire over there right now. So it makes me feel better about him. I always worry about the safety of my friends. Here's some good acting right there. Fucking
This is
Steve.
weird.
What is weird? You're weird. What?
The fact that we are not streaming to X. The stream just
Oh, it just started again. I just got a
Just
green
went-
arrow, a green check mark.
I still have the red exclamation.
no. I have the red, and I'm in.
Oh
I'm
no,
in
it's
X.
gone. There you are.
Yeah, I told you it just popped green for me.
It's just changed for
That
me.
means that
Good.
it's good.
Yeah, but I'm on X, and it says Pop Culture Minefield is not live.
So this is a cool scene. It's so bizarro. These two fighting over a mannequin. It's just these people are just absolute defectives as people. Just they're subhuman.
What a terrible thing to say. Oh, he's down.
Oh man,
And
you made him
again.
take his Lolita glasses off.
Now, you can. I would like to know what is happening inside Boba Sanetti's mind, because he's loyal to Toe Cutter, but he sees us the other as scum, and he should be. Why are this guy with us?
Well, he's the only character that kind of understands that this is all fucked up, and he'd like to be somewhere else. Also,
Boba,
Yeah.
no, he loves the chaos.
now he loves the violence, not the chaos. I think he just loves the violence, and of course, this is the famous scene where he puts the shotgun in Johnny's mouth, like his penis, threatening him, and then immediately puts his arm around him and says, "Let's walk off and go do something together," because Johnny's his girlfriend.
Okay, we're live on X again. My goodness.
It's on and off today. What's going on there?
Well, they made some changes on PC. If you see the stream on a web browser, now the stream occupies most part of the screen.
I've seen that one too, Tom. It's a good film. I've watched everything with Oliver Reed, even some of the weird fucking movies he did.
Martine, the thing that's confusing me is that our Twitter stream has been acting up and Stevens has not.
By the way, the chick in this club, she looks like a gray alien. There's something wrong with her face.
That singer, yeah. And I've looked her up. The actress really looks weird. She's not made
That's
up to
what I'm
look
talking
like
about.
this in the show.
Her,
Yeah,
no,
she's
her
really
face looks like a gray alien. It's just really bizarre looking face.
not pretty.
Yeah, The Damned is a really good film. There she is. Bizarro look. Bizarro.
Doesn't help that she's so skinny too.
Okay, anybody get that reference? Anyone?
What?
Bizarro. Come on, what is that?
No. Unless it's Mixler talking to Bizarro.
Come on, anybody. Nobody's good. No. Bizarro, the double line there said with that voice is from the animated series C Lab 2020.
Okay.
I don't know that.
I
sorry,
didn't see all of
2020,
those.
2021. The comedy series, 2021.
Yeah.
2020 was the actual series, 2020. Or am I getting it wrong? No, I got it right. 2021 is the animated comedy series on Cartoon Network. Bizarro.
Oh, Bush is contesting
One
that.
of us is, yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to see that show.
Yeah, it's called the Bizarro episode. It was season 2, episode 6. Bizarro. There you go.
Okay, there is Sila
Go watch that
2020 and
episode, Bush, and shut the
2021.
fuck up. Nobody asked you. If I want your opinion, I'll shove my fist up your ass and work your mouth like a puppet.
Sometimes I wonder how is it that we have an audience yet still.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah,
Fucking
same
love
guy.
Frisky
A lot of the same voices. Frisky Dingo, and finally, once they nailed it, how to do the animation, that led to Archer. That was the evolution. 2021, Frisky Dingo, Archer. What the fuck is messaging right now?
You need to turn your things off when you do a show.
It's fucking Tim sending me something. I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well, you keep telling them that you're off the socials, and then you go on the socials, and of course, they start sending you stuff.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm turning my volume down, so I'll start getting. Those
Oh
alerts.
yes, he sent a picture of Goose, old Goose, in water rats.
Mm.
Looks good, man.
Is that what he said? Can you share it on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, this scene is absolutely. Oh man, I was going to comment on this. This is a huge nod to the opening scene of Lawrence of Arabia, the motorcycle accident. This is Goose's accident here. I love when he gets up and he walks over to use the radio and it's disconnected, but he's so discombobulated from the hitting the ground.
I like when he
realize it.
Okay, here's the picture that Tim sent us.
Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to have to see this one, Tim. Thank you for suggesting it. I don't think I've seen it. I thought something was going to happen to him here when I was in the theater or on the drive-in. I watched this in a drive-in with my dad, man. It was great. It was a double feature.
Yes, you can, Bush, but yeah, do it.
Oh, please. Derail enough is it?
What's that movie I saw with that? It was another sci-fi film. Oh, I think it was this one. No, it wasn't.
Oh man.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. It was a double feature. We saw Battle Beyond the Stars with Mad Max as the second film. I like both films. And Battle Beyond the Stars is the one that has a spaceship with big boobs. And was like, what? And it was done intentionally. It was a Roger Corman film that they designed the spaceship to have boobs. And it's really kind of bizarre looking.
Because why not?
I don't know.
I'll show you. It's on the poster for the film.
Oh, Mike is getting excited because you said boobs. There you go. Easy to entertain you people in Canada.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. This scene, look how red his eyes are in this scene. This is an intense moment. And Johnny doesn't want to throw the match, and in the end, didn't actually throw it.
No,
it's actually knocked over there by a toe cutter. Because I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, man. I always felt bad for Johnny. And that's why the revenge on him is kind of a hollow death. Even though it's a cool scene, it's a hollow death.
We have a jewel of a bridge here. He puts really so much effort.
That's a lot of work there, Bush. Give him a video. He earned that one.
Bush.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
All right, here you go. This is the poster, honey. Drop the comment down for a second, buddy.
Oh,
there you go. That's the ship that with boobs. And clearly,
yeah, I know. You showed me that.
And I was like, how did how did they get away with that?
But if I recall correctly, the ship in the movie was orange, right?
Well, yeah, the poster shows it as gray, but it's orange colored, like a bronzy orange. So it really looks flashy. Oh, yeah, it's a ripoff of Star Wars. Is Roger Corman's I can make Star Wars cheaper.
Fallopian ray guns.
Fallopian ray guns. That's bad. Okay, here's the scene. And what I really liked on this, Anima, I don't know if you liked it or not, but when he lifts the sheet back to look down on his friend and the lighting changes on him, but on top of that, they do this wave effect that just really enhances the feeling of heat. And I fucking love this scene.
I think they tried to match the vibrato from the trumpets. The dramatic trumpet.
Yeah. Look, man, this film made Mel Gibson. It put him on the map.
Yep.
And that's why I gave up on George Miller. I really did. He got two good films, in my opinion, and an okay film. Two okay films. Two good films and two okay films. I'm not a big fan of Thunderdome. I'm not a big fan of Fury Road. But what offended me was that he easily could have had Mel Gibson in there as an older Mad Max, but opted not to because of politics. Optics. I'm like, fuck you, dude. This is another one that they did a good job there. You don't see it here in the film, in the slideshow. But when he sits up right into a light striking across his eyes. That shows the intensity of the moment. Him having that nightmare of Goose.
The impressive thing is he doesn't have many lines. He doesn't have much text. It's all expressions that he's getting.
Yeah, do you know the reason for that?
No.
George Miller said that he wanted to make this movie feel like a silent movie.
Yeah, because he's a fan of silent film. Yeah. But on top of that, I got to be honest with you. Some of your best action characters, heroic characters, if you want to call them that, or anti-heroic characters, are men of few words. They don't go around just fucking talking. That's why I made fun of.
Still there, and all horror when bad.
I made fun of Conan the Barbarian remake with Momoa, and I'm like, actually, that was a great choice of casting because he looks Sumerian, like in the book art. He had that look. But then how do they write him? Like a 16-year-old girl on prom night. He can't shut the fuck up. He's talking all the time in the movie. And it's annoying. The thing about Conan was he's a man of few words, but when he spoke, it meant something. He didn't want to waste words.
like a Spartan.
Yeah.
Bye, Penny. How about
Bye,
happy
Penny.
Thanksgiving,
Happy
you two.
Hi,
Thanksgiving.
Penny.
She is so pretty, the lady that played his wife. And Fury wasn't a Mad Max movie until the middle of the third act. Yeah, it's Mad Max doesn't really have any importance in that film until the end. And it's not like I don't mind it, because what he does, George Miller's idea, is it's even kind of done that way in Thunderdome, and it's not really a Mad Max movie until Mad Max starts doing Mad Max shit. It's sort of like, my description of a soldier. A soldier isn't a soldier until he's doing soldier shit. So Mad Max, that's when he steps in, because you have this whole buildup, and then Mad Max has to step in and do what he's going to do. And I kind of like that. And I love Tom Hardy. I think he's a great actor. But he's not Mad Max to me. Mel Gibson is going to always be Mad Max. Period. So, but this is him wanting to leave. I loved his, it's God, fucking a puck. I've got to get Anima to watch that with me, because it's such a good film, but I got to get her earlier in the day, not towards the evening.
Which one?
And shit. Nothing. You're not going to say anything. Shut up.
Shut up.
I love you. Sorry, I just want to tease you. What is life, Conan? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women.
Ow.
I love it when Martin does the Arnold growling.
I have to get a clip from that. The real Arnold doing a loud and put it on my soundboard.
Again, taking care of his plants and his fucking bird in a Chinese cage, and he's walking around with a cigar, and he's naked from the waist up. He's got fucking jewelry on and a fucking black scarf, and I'm just like, all he needs is a fucking earring in his right ear, and that's the only thing that can make it more obvious. And Fifi's actually one of my favorite characters in the story. Old Man Logan version of Mad Max is what all of us, every single Mad Max fan wanted.
No, not everyone. Stephen doesn't want it. Just look at his avatar.
Well, yeah.
No, the action in that movie, I'm going to tell you, that is some of the best fucking action. And the work with CG in that was seamless. I've never seen it done so fucking well. But that was another shoot from hell. You had your two lead actors hated each other. But Charlize Theron's kind of a twat anyway. Tom Hardy is weird. And if you've ever seen some of his interviews, he's an odd bird, but he definitely still is a man's man. Even though during his 20s, he kind of was a man's man for a bit. A lot of people, did anybody know that? Or am I like letting the cat out of the bag?
To me, you're letting the cat out of the bag. Come on.
Oh,
go
yeah.
on, go on.
He was
Please.
very experimental in his 20s. He openly talked about it in an interview. And I was like, do you not have a publicist? Stop talking. It's nobody's fucking business, man.
Well, Tom Hardy, he doesn't give a shit about anything and anyone.
He doesn't. He lives his own life. He lives it his way, lives by his rules. And I always thought it was funny because he's a fighter. He's a scrapper in real life. But Shia LaBeouf knocked the shit out of him in a real fight. When they made that movie about the two brothers running stills in the South, an incident happened and Shia took it the wrong way and fucking decked him.
By the way, that movie is good, or at least I liked it.
I forget the name of it, but I love that movie too.
Yeah, I forget the name too.
Lawless.
Yeah.
What's that? Deleted?
Lawless.
Yes, the Lawless.
Lawless.
Yeah.
They were
really good fucking movie.
Moonshine Runners.
I really liked that movie. I really did.
The end. Oh my god, the end of that movie is a punch in the gut.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, it's Sherlock Holmes. Look, I found your coat. I didn't know it was missing. Thanks. Since Gary brought him up, let's all remember what Conan is grateful for every Thanksgiving. The Tasha enemies, see them driven before you and hear the lamentations of the women. Hell yeah.
Except that Conan doesn't eat turkey. He eats camels that he beats to death.
And I love that I hated the second movie, Conan the Destroyer, but
the
I love
the camel
they had the camel
gag.
scene in there. Because Arnold did not like that fucking camel. And I get it, because I got bit by a camel. And they're fucking assholes. I've had horses nip me. God damn, man. I felt like a monster had grabbed me when I got bit in the shoulder by that fucking camel.
Dude.
Well, according to John McTiernan, Alan Rickman had to proof it down to appear tougher.
What does it mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Poof it down. Well, poof means gay in English slang.
Oh.
Because he couldn't hold a handgun very well. He kept limping his wrist. And he'd never done a film before. It was his first movie. He had to learn how to hold a weapon.
I don't know if you noticed, but Hans Gruber has, from time to time, certain mannerisms that seem not too manly, to put it that way.
I'm going to tell you right now, Bush. I like the original Edge of Darkness series on the BBC.
Yeah, so did I.
But I really did like the film. They really took a lot out. But they left some of the strong essentials in there. I thought he was really good in that. He was great in Fat Man. It's my favorite Christmas action movie.
Yeah.
Dragged Across Concrete is one of those films that I adore. But at the same time, God damn, it's dark. It has such a dark ending.
Well, it's the same director.
It's not a
that
bad
did
ending. It's just dark.
Yeah.
What's that?
Dude.
It's the same director that did Bone Tomahawk.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that guy's work. The prison film he did before Dragged Across Concrete with one of the same actors. What's his name? I fucking love the guy, and I just can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've been corrected by Scribelight. He beats the turkey to death.
Well,
and then he
scene in
stuffed
the whole
the
movie.
turkey into the camel. Absolutely, we should have got Old Man Mad Max. Absolutely, that's what Fury Road should have been. I was disappointed, heartbroken, crestfallen. Make up your own words that sound like my absolute letdown. By the way, this is the clip right here, Anima. The part of their sign says it right there, but it's backwards. Speed is just a... Can you read it, Martin? I can't read it.
Speed is just a question of money. How fast can you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's from the movie Stone. I think it's Stone.
That's nice.
I think it's from the movie Stone. And they took the line.
Also, it's nice that we have.
In fact, the guy that worked on the script has what's called like I do. People think that all photographic memory is the same thing. It's eidetic memory, but each one specializes in different areas. Like mine is visual. Like if you show me something, I will remember it 47 years later exactly as I saw it, and it's just weird. When I take tests, I have a photographic memory for the page. As I'm going through and I make highlights, I take a photograph of that in my head. And then when I go take the test, I actually see on the page where that word was or that phrase or what have you. And it's just one of those weird things I have. Now, it doesn't last, though, with words. Like, I'm terrible at remembering lines from films exactly. But images from films, I absolutely remember. And this is another guy who worked on several of the films with Mel Gibson. I mean, with Mad Max. She's so gorgeous, and the kid is. Look, I'm going to tell you something. They're clearly in love with each other, these two characters, and I wonder if the actors had a relationship of some kind because they have so much chemistry on camera. But that kid is absolutely a neglected child. He's loved but neglected, which is how
Dude,
everything that happens with this
They
kid
let the kid play with the revolver.
on the floor with a fucking handgun.
They suck at parenting.
They're
He leaves
terrible.
outside the house without supervision, and that kid is like what, 2 years old, 3 maybe?
Yeah, toddler. Fucking toddler.
Yeah, that's what I always took that as part of the whole motif of the world is kind of winding down.
It is winding down. It's the threads
Yeah.
as Mephisto. I don't know if you were here when we were talking about it. It's like you're slowly watching the threads being pulled apart because the end of the MFP is the end of it because they are the last line of defense to chaos, and chaos takes over. When I think about Gibson's career, as good of an actor as he is, I think he has had more impact on film as a director. I would say
Absolutely.
both. I consider it kind of a 60-40, 60 with the directing and 40 with the acting because he had such an impact on me as an actor. I love his films. This is what you refer to as a form of dramatic irony, whatever you want to call it. But in the end, it's just really bad luck. It's not real irony. It's just bad luck that they choose to go to the same place that these motherfuckers are at. It just fucking sucks. This is the kind of thing that would be mentioned in the song Ironic as being ironic when it's not. It's just really bad luck. Oh, Gary, I had a dream where I read text. Annie Sullivan. I saw it in a text image. What the fuck are you talking about?
Remember that it is almost impossible to read text in
Oh,
dreams.
yeah. I can't. I've never seen legible text in a dream.
It happened to me only once, and it was one single line in a whole paragraph.
Oh, God, here it goes. Now, again, they're being clearly the aggressors here. But they don't like the fact that somebody didn't let them do what they want. And that's why she has to die. And you don't really see it very well in the film. But the one dude stupidly on a moving car throws his chain to catch it. And it's attached to his fucking wrist. And you see him all of a sudden behind the car clutching his wrist and falling. And there's nothing there. He's just, it's a stump. And the hand gets pulled off. Sort of like it's that moment in National Lampoon's American Vacation with grandma or the dog being dragged by the car.
Kundalini, there you have it. He's curling in the ground.
So again, I will point out, with filmmakers, they have a tendency of trying to work with the same group of crew and actors. And so that's why you'll see with some directors, they use the same actors all the time. And you'll notice too, like John Carpenter and his relationship with Dean Cundey. Dean Cundey is one of the greatest cinematographers in the history of filmmaking. So they write up, they said, who were they and where did they go? And then he grabs his face. He's always grabbing people.
It's a bit silly though that she's getting away all the time until that scene where she's running from them on the street. Also, why would she run in the middle of the street? Get off that street. You might be safe from motorbikes. I mean,
yeah, I don't understand why she even got into the car in the first place. She should have run to the house and locked the front door and taken refuge in the house until
it's
Mel
also
got back.
not very logical to walk to that beach that's so far away on your own through a forest.
Yeah, at first you're like, I can see the water. Why? Where the fuck is she going? It's a 5-mile hike through the woods to get to the beach, which is right there. Oh,
the movie has problems that make it pretty obvious that they are all just getting into the trade. There's not much experience involved in this. And
hold on, I want to read this real quick.
He's describing the dream.
like it's Helen Keller and someone is shoving baseballs into. Ew. Joe Rogan says, I think we can do one more. And the guy does it. And I have a book or newspaper in my hand, and it says Annie Sullivan. So you read the words Annie Sullivan. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, Bush. Not that I'm judging, but what the hell? What kind of a dream is that?
Somebody ate pizza and a chocolate bar before they went to bed.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of taking cocaine before you go to sleep. Fernando Alonso also is fantastic DP. Yes.
I think we're not talking about the racer.
What? I didn't hear it.
Look what's Bush saying to me. I'm not suggesting that, Bush.
Yeah, another great cinematographer who died was Jordan Cronenworth. He did Blade Runner and Sony films. He actually was dying when he made Blade Runner. A lot of people don't know that. His son is a brilliant cinematographer too. I'm trying to think of some of the other films he's done. Yes, Altered States.
Altered States. We should do that one.
Oh, one of the films we will be doing, by the way, came out in the 80s, was Gardens of Stone. And he suffered, yes. I think it was from multiple sclerosis is what I think Jordan had. And he was sickly during the end of his career. He also did another film that we have talked about is Rolling Thunder. I love that fucking movie. See, they're great together, but the kid's not there. Kid is always like somewhere doing something, hopefully
I think the kid is playing with the toolbox.
Yeah, it's crazy. They just let this kid is just like fucking how he survived childhood.
Well, he didn't.
Well, no, he got run over. But I do want to point out the visual motif in that. I love the fact that they don't show them die. Instead, you see them run by them, over them, technically, and then you see the shoe and the ball.
I think they were trying to tone down a little of the violence.
I'm sure it was budget constraint.
Yeah.
He did another film that I liked, The Front Page, back in '74, with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Let's see. Trying to look all the way back. The Touch of Satan. That was a good film. He did Brewster McCloud back in '70.
Now,
he did the movie Gable and Lombard, which is a made-for-TV movie. Rolling Thunder, Altered States. I didn't like Cutter's Way. He did Blade Runner. He did Best Friends with Goldie Hawn and Burt Reynolds. It was a good film. Gardens of Stone. Oh, God, that movie, Peggy Sue Got Married. That movie. I haven't seen that since it came out. I should watch that again. Nick Cage and what is her name? Oh, fudge, I forget her name.
Look at that beautiful beach.
Kathleen Turner. Kathleen Turner.
Back when those great white
beautiful.
Sharks there.
Oh, he did State of Grace. I didn't know he did State of Grace too. That's actually one of the few Sean Penn films I like. It's got Gary Oldman, Sean Penn, Ed Harris, Robin Wright, John C. Reilly, John Turturro, Joe Fitarelli, Burgess Meredith. God, what a cast.
Just addressing the scene we just watched. Australia is really not the place where you should fall asleep in the sun like that. You shouldn't do that anywhere in the world, but not
close
in
to
Australia.
The equator. Too close to the equator. You're going to fucking be roasted. But look at this fucking...
Many things that wants to kill you there.
Like it went from Mad Max to Friday the 13th. It's like out in the middle of the fucking woods. It's so weird how far she walks. And then you got that guy that's been following her, the guy that's mentally handicapped. The guy terrifies her, but on top of that, she is being trailed by the bikers.
Getting away once more.
I don't know. I think that the bikers are already at the house.
Yeah, I think the only person chasing her in the woods is the slow dude.
Hello.
You know, he's a big adult, but he's got the mind of a 5-year-old. I think that's what Grandma said.
Look, it's Endor.
Yeah, John Alonzo, another good DP. Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that one too. Blue Thunder, Internal Affairs. He's good behind the camera. And even though he's credited as being a director, I got to tell you, Ridley Scott is one of the best directors of photography in the history of film. He's had more visual impact on cinema than any other DP I know of. And he worked with Jordan Cronenworth. I think he's a terrible director. I think he's a great cinematographer, Ridley Scott. There he is. Got his bib pants or whatever the fuck those are. Mel Gibson running with his double barrel shotgun. Yeah, it's going to do a lot of good with a group of people. Get yourself a pump. There's Grandma. Her and her fucking shotgun.
I like Grandma.
He's like, good eye. Look at that mug. He's clearly Irish.
And Grandma's shotgun is even bigger than Mel's.
So why he even leaves her at this point to go, I never understood this. It always bugged me. Because I would not want to go out in the woods. I would want to be where my family is to protect them.
You know what bugs me? Who is watching the kid? All four adults out
well,
there.
that's what leads to the next thing, because Grandma goes walking out of the scene, and then she suddenly remembers, wait, Grandma had my boy. Where's my boy? Oh my God.
Grandma loves him.
Where's fucking parents in the history of film?
Absolutely. They love their kid, but
Mommy Dearest, Joan Crawford did a better job in that movie than what they do with this kid. Martin could see a shot of that gal in a bikini and say, look at that beautiful beach. Yeah, I know, right? But you forget that he has an accent and he's actually saying bitch.
Oh my God.
Ah.
I dragged you into it, Martin. Sorry.
She's
laying and got her head back. And then suddenly, she's head back, and suddenly she goes, oh my God, my son.
So this is the beginning of Home Alone. When the parents are in the plane and say, the fuck the kid.
I was terrified of ever doing that, so much to the point I was phobic about it. So I was constantly hovering over my daughter when she was little. And I think it came from the kidnapping, her being kidnapped. It changed and I hovered over her. And I was constantly making sure like when I'm in a car, I'm making sure she's there. You okay? Everything okay? Always watching her. Keep an eye on her in the mirror, because I would buckle her in the center back of the back seat, so I could always see her in the mirror. God, I'm a fucking weird guy, but you go through what I went through, you get it. I love that one-hand sawn-off Rossi shotgun. Yes, indeed.
Well, most Italian shotguns do that. They eject the cartridge.
Yeah, when you pop it open, it kicks them out. It's spring-loaded.
Italians are not playing with their shotguns, man. They take them seriously.
They don't fuck around. I love that he shaved his eyebrow off. It gave him such an even weirder look. And sometimes I'll pull my hair up into a Japanese ponytail up here, and it immediately makes me think. Yeah, I never do a man bun. I've never done a man bun.
That's one of our rules. No man bun.
But I would do the Japanese ponytail up high, And when I do it, I just think of this character all the time. I go, oh my God, I look like Toe Cutter now. Jesus Christ. Look at me. He looks like he's fucking German. What is going on here? Value papers.
He's Liv Schreiber, man. He's
I
Liv
ask
Schreiber.
questions.
Yeah. Knock, knock. Who's there? We'll ask the questions here. I like that this guy is actually scared. Look at that face. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna put the kid down. There you go.
But
Toe
the kid
Cutter's
is
insane.
crying and he doesn't know what to do. That's scary.
The swollen tongue screenshot is hilarious. Which one are we talking about, John?
I don't know.
Don't know.
The only
Okay,
swollen scene in a film I remember is when you see James Sicking fall out of the locker in Outland with Sean Connery, when he opens his locker and he's been choked to death, hanged inside of his own locker, and he comes out and his tongue is sticking out of his mouth all black and blue.
That's what they look
I couldn't believe how realistic that was. And then he turns around and shows Sean Connery trying to get blood out of a dead guy that's been dead for 24 hours from his throat. And I'm like, no, you would get it from his back because there would be pooling. It's called lividity, dipshit.
You know what I find
one thing right and fuck that up so badly.
I find unrealistic that a character like that granny specifically spend a shot in a barrel instead of one of the gang.
Yeah,
members.
it's like, how blind do you have to fucking be? I couldn't believe she got in the car. She knew he was just working on it. But this lady, she's fucking fires and they just zoom right past her. They don't care about her. They want to get the wife and the kid because
She's the wife's mother, right?
she owes them a hand. And she, of course, got rid of the hand. And there they show the foot sandal and the ball rolling, and you just know what happened. You don't need to see it.
I think she's not the mother of neither Max or Jesse. She's
I don't know what she is, but she knows them.
because yes, she's a friend because both of them refer to her by name. They always call her May.
So I'm going to say
Some
something
people do
here.
that with their parents,
I have
though.
that parasympathetic thing that happens that I feel, when you go over a hill, Martin, too quickly, and it feels like your balls went up into your body.
Yeah.
I get that exact sensation when somebody hits asphalt and I see it, or this will cause it too. Running barefoot on a road like this. And I know what that feels like, and it causes that fucking sensation in me. It's something that occurs with people who have too much empathy. I have way too much empathy.
I keep causing that, Gary, when I bump into my desk.
Well, I get physical discomfort seeing somebody else do that. And this scene, I have to turn away when he's running. I keep looking away because it triggers it badly.
I have run. Oh, I have ran. I don't know how to pronounce it. Barefoot on asphalt. I was like, it is not that bad. What are you talking about?
This is
I
Australia's problem.
I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. I guarantee you it's as hot in Australia as it is in Phoenix. And you don't want to walk. I got tar. My sister and I made the mistake of walking to the swimming pool in the apartments across the street. The buildings, they had their own pool. We had to use theirs. But we got tar. They wouldn't let us into the pool because we got hot tar on the bottom of our feet. It hurt so fucking bad, dude.
How did you get hot tar in your feet?
From the road. There's tar used in asphalt for roads.
Yeah, but
and over time, it eventually hardens. But when it's fresh and it's over 100 degrees in Phoenix, like summer was 110 degrees, 120 sometimes. And in the shade, it's still hot. It's just not humid. So there's no escape. So anyway, so now she's there. She's clearly lost a leg.
No, an arm.
She's lost an arm and a leg. There's only one leg sticking out.
I didn't see that.
And these,
no.
I'm not going to argue about this. So the doctors begin to just basically say she's in a vegetative state. She's not going to make it. Well, which we tell the husband, and like tell her she's okay. She's going to make
We're
it.
talking
And
about
it's
harvesting her organs.
No, they say no.
harvesting her organs.
They say she's gonna make it.
What? No.
They sounded to me like they were planning to.
No.
harvest her organs.
This doctor in the room, he asked the other one, "Is she salvageable?" And I said, "Yes, she is. She's
That
stable."
means
That's what that
bring her
means.
organs, Martin.
That to me means salvaging her organs.
Yeah.
No,
I worked in the
he's-
medical field. I'm telling you, that's how that came across. Is she salvageable
That's
to
exactly
be
what
used
they meant.
in the
yeah.
future? So that's how I took that. So it's like lie to the husband is how this comes across. But they made a mistake saying all of this within earshot of him. And so she is dead and he knows it.
Also, to prove it to Martine, one of the doctors lists a couple of organs that can still be used, and the other one says, geez, that sounds like a grocery shopping list. So yeah, they are planning to
Yeah,
harvest her organs.
I'm telling
She's
you, it's
gone.
exactly what was going on here. And so
We got all her sign back. There it is.
what?
Okay.
I don't know. Were you talking to us? I don't know what you just said.
Yes, I'm
It
talking
says,
to you.
it says, yes, sure, we got all her signs back last night, is what it says
Yeah.
in the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and here we are. We're going through a shopping list of what's usable.
Okay. We got all her signs back last night.
That means
but
they were able to resuscitate her, but she's brain dead.
Yeah, she's in a permanent vegetative state, and she's not going to recover. And he hears this, and that is what sends him off. That he has
never
now
goes back
lost
to
his
the hospital,
wife
it seems.
and children. Yeah, he's no interest in it. It's over, and he
The kid
knows
is
it.
gone already. That's what they talk about too. They lost a child.
No.
Because Martin knows when.
When what?
I don't know. Now, this is a classic Don Post mask, and I love that they had this in here. That's the dude from Ed Wood's movies, Tor Johnson. That's the famous Tor Johnson mask from Don Post Studios.
He puts that on to mock his wife when she's sitting there in the morning and looks so grumpy, and she sees that and is like, I'm not grumpy. Fun little sweet scene between
I'm going
them.
to see if I can find a picture of this thing.
Oh my god! To be honest, I'm getting quite fond of Dos Equis.
Here it is. I found it. Save image as. Please don't be a WebP. You fucking assholes. God, I fucking hate Google. They're the ones who did this shit. Now I just open it and save it as JPEG because they made it so complicated for no reason. So this is a famous mask. It was one of the first Hollywood masks made from an actor's face. Even though it's hard to call Tor Johnson an actor, he's a pro wrestler. Is what he was known for.
A wrestler.
Wrestler. There he is. That's one of the original Tor Johnson masks from Don Post
Oh.
Studios. So
That's it.
anyway,
I was saying that's his name. I just have this thing where I try to pronounce things
Martine.
correctly.
holy shit, Mel looks like, holy crap, look at that shot again. He looks like Gary Oldman there.
I
You
don't
think?
see it, but okay.
No, I
Hold
don't
on.
either.
Wait for it. It's the eyes. Don't look anywhere else. Just look right at the eyes.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Mm,
His eyes, the way he's looking right now, very in his forehead, I could easily have mistaken that for Gary Oldman and not him. The bridge of his nose-
Only if you make him yell, everyone. And that's it.
Yep. He is. That's him doing the classic gunslinger, put the guns away, You've taken away the thing I gave up all this violence for, and I'm going to bring you the violence now in a way you never imagined. And this
Oh my
fucking
God,
car,
stop pausing it.
I can't help it because I want to talk and
It's
talk about
almost
something in a
midnight. I
scene.
want to get to the end of this and I'm falling asleep here.
If you gotta go, honey, go. It's all
I
right.
hate leaving before the show's over. You know that. And we're so close.
I know, but look, it happens. Don't fret over it. If you gotta go, go to bed. Go to bed.
Without dinner.
Go to bed without dinner.
No, leaving the show early means I don't get to hang out a couple more minutes with Gary. So that's one more reason.
No food for you. Yes.
Eh.
So
Yeah, I made one of my noises. There you go.
I'm going to start recording them and using them when people get the question wrong on Fridays.
Oh my God. That would actually. Oh.
Oh my God, the wrong buzzer.
Again, this is the gentleman that would end up working with George Miller all the way up to Furiosa, which he was the screenwriter and supervisor of the script for the film.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt. How many
Yeah.
ribs? How many ribs cracked?
I can do this all day. I don't think you can. Tell me what I want to know. They're going to kill me. I'll kill you. One of the greatest things is a device in a film is when somebody says, I can't tell you, they'll kill me. It's like, I'm going to kill you if you don't.
Dude, Mel does that line twice in Payback.
Now, this is something it's a scene that you'll see echoed later in Road Warrior 2, or I mean, Mad Max 2 Road Warrior. The taking these tankers.
Yeah,
So-
the whole third act is this scene.
But Mel fucking just runs over these fucking guys, just kills them.
No mercy.
And the sad thing is, Johnny gets the worst death of all of them. And by the way, I'm going to point it out here and now. No, I'll wait till the scene, and then I'll
Johnny
point
is
it
the
out.
one that he ties to the burning, or about to
Yep.
burn car.
Handcuffs him.
Yeah,
Handcuffs his
handcuff on
ankle
his
to the
foot.
fender. He says, it'll take you this long to cut through the chain, but it'll only take you
10
you know,
minutes.
this long.
If you're lucky,
cut through your
5
own
minutes is
foot.
enough to cut your foot off. Yeah, and he leaves him at Saul. But all the guy does is scream and whine and bitch instead of even trying to get out of that situation. But then he doesn't even have 2 minutes anyway.
So this is a prequel to Soul, even.
Right.
That's another one I'm never going to watch.
Man, I love that car. You know, when the game Forza Horizon is a racing game, come out in the version that takes place in Australia,
Yeah.
there's a DLC pack with the original models of all the cars that you see in this movie, and of course, I replicated both the Pursuit and the Interceptor and the van.
Nice.
I
Nice.
fucking love those
The
Now
cars.
you'll see Johnny breaks into a police phone box here,
Stephen, did you want to say something?
and
Made
Yeah,
it?
real quick. Sorry, yeah. The one hit where I'm wondering, did that guy get hurt or perhaps even die? Is when we're going there on the bridge and there's the two guys that go over, but then there's the guy who gets hit with his own bike. And I'm like, oh, because that was real. It was obvious he gets hit. And I'm like, damn, this movie's not messing around.
yeah, clunks him in the fucking head, and it's really it's done in slow motion.
Now, this is a
How is
point,
he not-
an interesting topic. the supercharger in the
Hmm.
car wasn't real. It's a prop. And the other thing is superchargers are directly tied to the axis of the engine. You cannot turn on or off a supercharger like Max does here. That
Okay.
shit is always functioning.
I didn't know that.
All tech.
Bush says
super-
it can't be real. I like that car no matter what. It
So
looks
as soon as this is
Oh, it's-
done, deleted scenes, Stephen, I will have them play a video for you. I just put it in the private chat where George Miller actually addresses the stunt you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Because he was fine. He was fine.
Yeah.
That helmet was extra padded on the inside because, oh, yeah, this scene.
Bush is not the same thing. The supercharger is one thing, and the nitro system is completely separated. Who is my member for? Who has been?
no new member, but he's been a member for
Whoa.
2 months.
Oh. No, we're not doing Thunder.
I know he's been. Martin and I talked about it. I'm not that big a fan
Me
of
neither.
those two, of the last two films, or the Furiosa. I'm never planning to even see that one because I
do.
felt that he betrayed the fans by doing what he did with Fury Road. It lacks Carpenter's tension. It's flat from the start to finish. Which one are we talking about here?
Oh, they've been talking about
Village of the Damned.
that one, the Village of the Damned.
Oh, I liked Carpenter's version. It was done actually oddly very smart, rather than it was there for emotional tension, not the typical horror that he does. They're psychologically impacting you. Stephen, are you typing or is that you, Martin?
Oh, it's me.
Okay. Gibson looks so angry. Why is it stuck? Oh, there, finally. Like, wow, that took forever.
Yeah.
Don't know.
And they finally wised up and split up.
Thank you, Bush.
Thanks, Bush.
Thanks, Bush. That's awesome.
That you guys even do that because you guys talk to me all the time in private, so you know that's like an extra gift from you to do that. I appreciate it, and I'm not kidding. I mean that. I'm not kidding.
No, I'm laughing at this comment.
I want to hear Tina Turner recognize that. Yeah, I know Tina Turner. She sang that song RESPCECT. Yeah. I'm such an asshole.
Yes, you are. And
Because
I
there's
wish I
something
would
funny
be
about
sitting next to you because I would slap the
mislabeling
shit out of
somebody.
you.
So I do like the fact that two characters in this film get their knees fucked up. It's both him and his buddy Goose. Gary, boo, boo, boo. Why is it doing this?
What?
It's been stuck on this scene for a while, this shot. Like all of a sudden it got really slow.
Yeah. That is weird.
I
Yeah,
have no
it's
idea.
stuck on the shots forever.
So the last one, he finally, gets them all, and he's going for toe cutter. And I love that scene. It's one of my favorite moments in the film because twice in the film you see bug eyes happen. And it's a little quicker with Knight Rider when he's about to die. And it's that whole thing that the pressure behind the eyes from the strain causes the eyes to bulge. Is something a medical person would know.
Okay, guys. I think this is a connection issue that I would have to close it and share it again, or we can leave it here. Whatever you say.
All right. Well, you can go ahead and do that. I'm just going to show the image because I already have the image. This is the great image right here.
Yeah.
I love that they did this in the film.
It happened so fast in the movie, but Gary pointed it out before it happened and told me to watch for it, and holy shit.
And I'm going to tell you now, that is not the same actor's face. That is actually, looks like it was made from the actor that played Knight Rider. So I think that we get a little bit of it in the first scene with Knight Rider, and then they show the entire thing and make it out to be Toe Cutter, because that does not look like Toe Cutter's nose.
No.
It looks like the Knight Riders.
Okay, let me.
Well, I liked it when I saw it. Oh, you're going to do it again. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were doing it again yet.
We won't get it anyway, though.
I think I broke it again.
Yeah, it's broken. So we're not going to worry about it. That's the end of the movie. So I'm going to show you some cool pictures here that I thought were awesome because they're good friends in real life, best friends. Like, you know, the whole let's get tattoos kind of friends.
Whoa, staying. Gary and I agreed that Master Blaster is one of
I love Master Blaster.
It's one of the very few things that are good in that movie.
Yeah, I love Master Blaster. There are elements within that movie that I do like. I like that they got the same actor from Road Warrior to come play a different character who does the same thing, which was weird to me. What is that Aussie's name?
Bruce Spence.
Is that who it is?
It's in both movies.
No.
Yeah.
Captain Giro. What? Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
He's in 2 and 3.
He plays two different characters in Mad Max. When he comes up out of the sand, he's got a big old grub sticking out of his nostril. And I'm like, protein, eat it. I think it's gross, but I would fucking do it. Yeah. See what you've got there deleted for your avatar. If people can't see it, I want to show it. That is the movie we wanted.
Yeah.
And it's not the movie we got because of politics. So here are some great pictures of Steve and Mel. There's a good shot from the movie. This is when they did their summer surfer film together. Fucking kids. Another great shot from this film. This is also from a bar scene in the summer surf movie they did. That is not him on the left. The guy with the crazy punk-looking sunglasses, that's Steve. Hanging out together. This is during Hamlet. And he showed up on set just to hang out with his old mate. I love that photo, dude. I don't know who the chick is. I don't recognize her from the cast. I'd have to go back and look at photos of the cast to know who that is. But I love that picture of the two of them. I mean, they fucking look he looks like a raggedy man. Talk about a raggedy man. Because that was one of my favorite parts of Thunderdome is the nickname that Tina Turner's character gives him. Raggedy man. Not like the end when he gets away. I like that moment. He's left behind by everybody. And they begin telling the story is that years later of the one they called Max. So once again, there are elements of Thunderdome I do like. There's just, I got to be honest, I couldn't stand that they had Tina Turner in it. I love her singing. She's not.
I don't think I want to see her try to act. I really don't.
I thought with deleted here, all the production issues would run smooth. You would think so.
Yeah, he's trying to be funny.
I know.
So you both can.
Martin, want to share that YouTube
yourself.
video? Oh, go fuck yourself. There you go.
No, love yourself.
Anybody want to share the video?
I'm on it.
This is the video of George Miller talking about the accident that you guys were talking about in the chat, because that guy does. He gets what happened was he was supposed to slide behind the motorcycle, but he hit at a weird angle with the back tire, and it did a stutter on him, and so he ended up in front of the motorcycle. And then it's not even his motorcycle that hits his head; it's the other guy's motorcycle. But thank God he had the additional padding in that helmet, because the guy that he's doing the stunt for had a bigger head, so they had to put additional foam padding in there for him.
Man, I'm surprised they didn't have more horrible accidents happen, because filming it the way they did, guerrilla shooting, they didn't have much time to prepare for stunts or practice.
But they were all pros, though. All of them were professionals. So here you go, guys.
Still.
Here I go.
Here you go, guys.
The first Mad Max, there was one moment where there's a bridge and Max drives towards these bikes and the bikes slide. One of the stunt guys, a guy called Dale Bench, as he slid his bike, the stand of the bike hit the ground, and instead of the bike sliding and him following the bike flipped forward, and he was flipped forward of the bike. And then the bike behind him came and hit his helmet. It was one of the shots that people still talk about because they thought that he was badly injured. What happened was that he was doubling a guy with a much bigger head, and he wore his helmet. And we put foam inside inside the helmet so it would fit him. When the helmet was hit by the wheel of the other bike, it knocked the helmet forward. It wasn't so much his head. Dale Bench, all these years later, was my driver on the last film. The first Mad Max, there was one moment where...
There we go.
Yeah.
So there you go. Deleted. There's the answer to your question about that. No stuntmen, to my knowledge, were hurt in the making of that outside minor injuries.
Well, one of them had an injury from a previous thing and was hospitalized and then went to do the movie.
You were talking about that scene. I was talking about in Road Warrior.
When the guy cartwheels. Yeah, he broke his leg. That
I thought you were
night,
talking
I
about this one. Oh, I don't know. I've done any research on that.
The research that I did tell that nobody died.
To do on Saturday?
We're doing on Saturday.
Yes.
I will be doing my research over the next couple. Because if you guys don't believe me, I do. I take notes, and I read them. I take the notes and then I go back and I read them, and it helps me remember shit.
It absolutely helps, and I wish I would have time to do that. I feel so unprepared for these shows because all I can do is find time to watch the movie. That's all it is right now. Watch shows, the rest is work.
Yeah,
Joe.
Yeah. You got to say it like the alien does. Oh, Joe.
We have here Bush janking Anima's chain.
I don't care.
Here you go. So this is how I make my notes. I write these down, and then I come back to them, and I just go over things. Highlight certain things that I want to remember. Like this one was Max Rockatowski started 13 years earlier, 1960. It was that year that young Byron Kennedy worked together with his friend Peter Cameron on a short film called Dragsters. And they had this idea to do a film with a cop chase. Just the movie is like one long cop chase. And that's what evolved into becoming Mad Max. When Kennedy and Miller became friends and they started making short films together, did one film. Let me read this. My notes. Both men studied medicine and shared an interest in movies and filmmaking, which is such a cool thing. So while they were doing their internships as doctors, they began making films, short films. They made their first film called Violence in Cinema Part 1. There was no Part 2. It was just one movie. That's okay. Thank you. So she brought me deviled eggs. Startled me. Somebody just walking up on me.
Don't you have that sign for your door live on air or something?
Yeah.
Put that up.
So it is. Tora. Yeah, it's a massive accident that was used in the film. Nobody thankfully was hurt when that radio control P-40 comes careening instead of past everything, it goes into it. And you see stuntmen running for their fucking lives. And it's for real, 100%. The next film the two made together was a short film called Devil in Evening Dress. And then they did St. Vincent's Review, which is also known as Nuns on Motorbikes. I shit you not. And that all led to them making Mad Max.
You put a ramp for them, and you have the flying nun.
And the big thing for them, by the way, is the motorcycles all had to be Kawasaki's. They only like Kawasaki's. So there you go, man. I'm trying to think if there's any other trivia. Again, I'll point out some of the films that they lifted. They lifted huge chunks of films into the franchise. This is one that inspired Mad Max. This is another one. This is definitely almost beat for beat is Road Warrior. This inspired this film in many ways, including that major scene at the beginning of the film is stolen directly from it. And it's done in such a way, saying stealing is not really fair. It's just inspired by, and in such a way that they still did it in an original way. And the cool thing about that opening crash scene with Knight Rider is in order to get the massive speed they wanted for that stunt, they put it's called a rocket assist for jets to give them faster launch off of aircraft carriers or short runways. And it's something that they release after they use it.
Sorry. We have this blast from the past. I remember this.
That I did too. That wasn't 3 years ago. That was 2 years ago when you were at Scott's place.
And then Scott came in with a roll paper and smacked Gary.
And smacked him. Yeah, that's what
I remember that.
Good
That was
old days
funny.
of Gary being the garage troll.
What was this? There should have been a stunt category at the Oscars decades ago. No, I've said that for years too. Why isn't there a category for best stunts?
Fuck the Oscars. They've been garbage for decades.
Oh, they've been garbage for 25 years.
Because Tom Cruise will win all the years.
He probably would. But CGI should be a tool that's used only when you can't do it for real. Or if you do something for real, but there are wires, or if there's something that might show how it was done, you can mask, with CG. You should not be, I just dislike that shit. I love the movie Near Dark, and we will be doing it. We were supposed to do it last week, but we're going to end up doing it, I think, on December 2nd, Tom. We'll be talking about it on, what is this? Let me go look real quick. December 2nd.
Wasn't that
2nd or 6th? One of those two dates.
Well, you're in the chat too. What did she end up? They agree with her and Greg. You remember? It might be the 5th. Is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I'm checking out
next week. I think sometime.
Yes, December the 5th.
Whoosh, I disagree.
Yeah, December
The
5th. What's
because
this?
I remember that, and I have been with Gary 2.5 years, so it can't have been 3 years ago.
No, it was 2 years ago.
He moved in with Scott in October 2022.
It happened. Yeah, so it happened I think that was December. I think it was December of 2022 because cold in there.
When you moved into the living room, they had already put up Christmas decorations, so that was early December.
I'm doing
my fiance visa. I know our timeline, so fuck off.
I'm seeing you, Gary, with your more populated beard, and we're approaching December, and all I can think is Dick Santa.
Well, this is so gray. I've got so much gray in my beard.
I wonder if they're ever going to trim it again. It's getting
there's actually, it looks like I don't have one, but I do have hair going all the way up to here, and it's so gray in his hair, and I got one fucking big thing of gray hair. I'm like Jay Leno's top of his head.
When he looks up
My
to
beard.
the ceiling, his beard is split in half dark, half gray. See that?
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Two-Face.
Yep.
You need a coin.
That's actually not a bad film. It's not a great film, but it's. I think it's a good film. The Silent Partner. Elliot Gould works at a bank, and Christopher Plummer's the villain. And it's a good little film.
All right.
I remember
guys,
watching that. I've seen it a couple of times. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here.
Longer than I thought, so.
And so I want to thank Tim for being here, Slasher Fred, Penny, Curtis Selby, Booth McFadden, Space Fwaggle, Tom Baker, John Ostains, Max Demon, the Comic Relief Crusader, our good friend Mike, Connie Cleary. Poor Mike got stuck in the bathroom today. He had no toilet paper. Let's pray for that man. Connie Cleary, Zax, aka Kyle, aka what was the other name I said he's going to go by now? I can't remember. Fuck. That's what you calling that? Scribe Light, of course. Thanks for popping in, buddy. And Joe's Atmosphere. Thanks for being here, my friend. And we're going to wrap it up here, guys. And I hope you guys have a good Wednesday. Don't forget to make it a proper hump day. Go hump somebody. They'll appreciate it. And if you get a big thank you, let me know. If they don't like it, they hit you or arrest you, send me an email. Let me know what happened. Send me your, what do you call it? Mugshot.
Thank you, Bush. And the same for you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That's celebrates Thanksgiving. Past that, have a good week, and we will see you again Friday. Keith should be here tomorrow morning. I don't know what you guys are doing tomorrow. So, and I'm hoping he'll be there. He hasn't answered me yet about Friday. So, but I have him on the thumbnail just in case.
I hope he joins us. It's great
Yeah,
to
it's
hang out
happening.
with him.
But everybody have a great day today, and we'll see you Friday. Bye now.
Bye.
This episode was brought to you by Joe's Prostate Massage.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Thank you.